Good morning there, School of Tomorrow teachers. This Heuristics for Teachers theme, it's about making a ball, and I'm going to tie some stuff off. I have to say, when I say ball, sometimes I have to pull this out. It's kind of like Sesame Street or Mr. Rogers in that sense, that there's a lot of show and tell, a lot of artifact sharing. And when I do this, I'm saying, hey, think about it. Remember, you've got that show and tell ability of just, jumping to you holding something. It's not always about a screen or whatever. Different techniques for teaching online, on YouTube in particular. That's been a focus here. But of course, you're thinking, wait, I don't even plan to teach mostly online. Should I listen to any of this? Well, keep keep an open mind is my advice there. With the Blender page showing here now, Blender, what the heck is Blender? I'm going to view this on Notebook Viewer because I'll get a better view there. It's a high-end computer graphics program like you're looking at, made for doing animations. And it's been like a paid outreach project here in the Silicon Forest for me, a curriculum developer, to try to interest the computer graphics community in taking on the concentric hierarchy consciously. Like, oh, it's actually a thing, it's a topic. We can actually sink our teeth into it. It includes, as you know, all of you who've watched my channel, this transformation here. Now, if you've watched the Thrive and Thrive 2 movies, that's a place where I do see the computer graphics, right? There's innovation there, showing the IVM and so on. I've been my own process has been animated GIFs since way before Jiffy. It's very gratifying now to see the explosion of interest in animated GIFs, and their didactic ability is, I think, clear. So, and little TikTok movie type things too. Concentric hierarchy filters in as something that we all sort of gradually pick up more. And my strategy has been outreach to the people who really know computer graphics. And you might be saying, well, I know computer graphics. Why do I depend on them? And it's true. I do know computer graphics to some level, and I don't depend on them, right? But I do want to make more of a movement here. Always these cultural shifts, they come with art, right? There's a movement. Tensegrity comes with art, right? We've talked quite a bit about tensegrity, right, over the years on this channel. And my relationship with Kenneth Snelson, too, we've talked about, right? I was his first webmaster. Same with Bucky Fuller Institute. First webmaster, although Kiyoshi Kuramiya snagged the actual BFI.org, right? Kiyoshi Kuramiya has been important. So let me tie this off. We've just in the last few heuristics for teachers gotten into some more names, like Richard Rorty. I showed John Dewey's picture without giving his name. It's like, where am I going to tie this off? Because obviously it's going to ramify. And you kind of like picture this Penrose tiling plane that just keeps going infinity. Like once you start on this path of, oh, this guy connects to this guy, graph theory, right? It's all going to connect. And by guy, it's like genders of all kinds. It's Indra's net. But then, of course, it does fold back around to make more of a sphere is what we're thinking about. And we can sort of tie it off and have things connect in every direction. The way we're going to do it here is we're going to explicitly connect to Frances A. Yates here. She's got this writer page on Facebook. And I'm a fan. A lot of us are fans. So I found this on Facebook. She wrote a book called The Art of Memory. And that's about, and this is my tie to Harold Bloom, that's about Shakespeare's Globe, in part, serving a well-known sort of mnemonic feature. Remember, I've talked the word mnemonics many times here. And that goes back to a Hermetic tradition. And here, I got this, okayed. She's got this posted at that Facebook page or this Facebook page has that posted. And it goes through to my backyard, basically, which, as you can see, is kind of rustic, kind of needs mowing and stuff. But that's part of the look here. It's kind of scruffy. It's kind of Wild West in a way, not overly manicured. It's got some teeth missing, maybe, that kind of thing. We're tuning into medium. I already have it open, actually. So let's jump to that. It's the inflatable planetarium. We looked at this recently. This is inside of a house. Of course, that's not required that it be indoors, but it is here. It's just being shown for like a final time by the guy who used to take it all over from school to school. And Francis A. Yates is my first. You can see the relevance here, why linking here does make sense, because I talk about the art of memory right here in the first paragraph, which is a good thing. It kind of anchors it, because by the time you get down towards the end of it, I'm kind of wandering around and hitting a lot of notes in the xylophone. I'm kind of all over the place. But you're used to that with me, and it all connects, right? So I talk about the lambda calculus again. This is another heuristic for you guys, a way to pioneer a parallel track alongside delta calculus. Let's turn this off sound-wise. That will help people pick up, like, where are they going to learn all this stuff in everyday school, right? So I've got this link. So in other words, in terms of casting a net and getting my stuff out there, I've done a fairly decent job using hypertext. And I'm linking, again, through Harold Bloom, who thinks the world of Shakespeare. We'll go to the art of memory and just the whole idea of the art of memory and Shakespeare's globe and its mnemonic powers. And from there, we've got our bridge to German language philosophy. And Peter Sloterdijk, however you pronounce it here, our good friend in terms of focus on spheres, globes, right? Microcosm, that whole concept, and its foamization, right? It's when he says spheres, he means it very metaphorically as well as literally. It's good to have a philosophy text here that isn't shy about connecting the dots and at the same time using the topology of sphericalness to locate and discuss all kinds of topics. Very successful thinker here. So I'm very encouraged by the fact that he has Buckminster Fuller in the index. I've only read or partially read some of the translated into English works like spheres, globes, and foams. So that would be my preferred way to go. In other words, we'll go from Harold Bloom, a Shakespeare advocate, and Walt Whitman. Those are two of his biggies, right? And Whitman we trace back to American Transcendentalism, to Emerson, and to the phenomenon of the Western hemisphere, let's say the far West, let's say the Americas, developing its own outlook and its own philosophy. And that's a story that continues with or without nationalism, right? We have a lot of continuity, regardless of how much we nationalize. So again, to wrap it up, I would recommend treat the synergetics concentric hierarchy here as a tautology, right? It's not empirically depending really on anything, just to be as a Platonic construct, and learn all the properties you can just based on its derivability, right? Once you're into tetravolumes, you've got some new insights to mine around, for example, the relationship between the T and the E modules. And you may say, yeah, I get that, but what's the significance in terms of physics and so on? And I'm saying we don't need that at the moment. We just need the fluency of the art. We need the hypertunes. And to the extent that this kind of mnemonics links us, we know we can go over the IVM bridge into the sphere packing world and link to the sciences however sphere packing does, right? Including by going higher dimensional. Again, there's nothing about synergetics that precludes us from getting into multidimensional in its conventional linear algebra sense of machine learning and so on. So, however it pans out, I don't come to announce all that will come and any of that. I'm just saying, let's keep all these flames and torches burning, especially around our right brain, you could say, heritage. Our almost, you could say, wordless graphical heritage. Never mind what we think, what do we create in terms of hypertunes with musical soundtrack maybe only. You could say I'm interested in that as much as any kind of ideology or physics or, assertions about what's so. That's all very interesting, but so are test patterns on TV. All right, talk to you soon.